Now welcome to a review of this 7th episode of Agatha All Along, where once again we're going to send it over to Naboo to begin.
I think this might be my favorite episode thus far. I thought taking the episodes sequentially out of order, kind of jumping all over Lillian's story, was a really great method, and it worked out very well.
Best episode, agreed. Not like an amazing, like I'm
Right.
blown away, but
I understand.
definitely the best writing thus far out of the show.
I think it's really interesting because you start out in the beginning of this episode confused, jumbled up, just like Lillian is all the time. We're going, well, we have gaps in our information because we're seeing things out of
Kind
order.
of out of order, yeah.
So I thought that was really a clever way to put the audience in the exact same shoes as the character they want you to empathize with.
No, I agree with that. And all the previous times she's kind of gone away now makes sense. They kind of blended that very well. Again, it was a clever episode. It was good writing. I enjoyed it.
I was very sad that it kind of had to end with her end because this episode really drew me to her character.
Yeah, I would agree. It was kind of sad when she dies at the end.
When she sacrificed herself for her coven, the group that
Yeah.
she really recognized as her coven.
Yeah, I mean, I think a little bit more could have done in the earlier episodes to kind of strengthen that a little bit, because she's kind of been the kooky one out a lot of the time, if that makes sense.
Right, the kind of side character who, well, she's over there doing something,
Yeah.
and you didn't really get invested or care, but now you realize all those times she was just doing something, she was
Yeah.
actually doing something important.
Yeah, she was elsewhere in time and space.
Getting even help from her mother, her old
Mother
teacher,
or teacher, yeah, one or the other, or both.
her nana.
Something, yeah. Somebody who knew her deal.
To hear her life story this way was really, I thought it was just really clever.
Well, like I said, I think it was a solid episode. This was my favorite or best episode of the series so far.
I am sad that this is still stuff we've seen in the trailer, because I saw the falling scene is in one of the trailers.
Yeah, I like when trailers decide to just give you like the first few episodes.
Yeah, just like we
You
know
know.
that there's still like this mental institute scene
Yeah, they
with Agatha and Willie Bill.
Willie Bill. Well,
Willie
I
Billy.
think he's totally Billy, but
Right, because William died.
yeah, that's how I took it. As William died, and then he went into his body and kind of reanimated it in a way.
It was interesting because I thought for sure his question was going to be, where's Tommy? That's what he came to the road for,
That's
right?
what he wants.
He wanted more than anything to find his brother.
He doesn't care about his mom, apparently.
Yeah.
Doesn't even see her as his mom.
It's weird. Could he just be saying that because he knows that the relationship between the Scarlet Witch and Agatha is really bad?
Good.
I like that we got to see the Salem 7 again. I feel like they kind of just turn up and then get lost.
Yeah, they've been a really weak point too.
Yeah.
They just kind of like show up and they remind me.
They push the story along.
Yeah, they're like bad ring race where every now and then you
Bad
gotta be
ring race.
reminded of them. But
They
the
do
ring
kind of
race,
screech like...
yeah, but the ring race have
Yeah.
a better presence throughout the Fellowship of the Ring, for example, than
They're definitely
these
built
have.
up with more ominence, I would say.
Yeah, and they've had moments where they're I don't know, I just don't take them seriously in this too much. They're kind of just like, we're gonna run around and do creepy things. Like are
They're
we kidding
literally
me?
just the mechanic that pushes people along the path. Why can't we take our time? Why? Because they're following us.
Yeah,
Time to move along. Gotta go fast. It's great.
like
But
Sonic.
they're not the villain of this show. They've just shown us that they are not the villain
No.
of this show. Who's the villain of the show? Is it just the travel? Is it just the journey they're on together? Is it possibly somehow death?
I think so.
AKA Rio?
Yeah.
I really liked when they did the reveal that Rio is death. Because I feel sad now that Thanos is gone because I'm like, Thanos loved death.
Yeah, he did.
He had a
Like
relationship
a
with
literal love of
death. Yes.
death, yeah.
And I think that putting Rio in that role, putting that actress Aubrey in that role would have been fantastic.
Yeah, I think she suits it well, which kind of sounds like a mean thing to kind of say that you play a really good death
Well, she's just got that right,
attitude or
Attitude,
sass or something. Or
yeah, that little
demeanor.
something, that
Yeah,
spark.
yes.
I kind of like how it harkens back to that first episode when not the first episode, but when the Coven meets Rio when she crawls out of the ground and like, oh, are you a Green Witch? And she's like, I'm the Green Witch.
Yeah.
Like,
she
oh,
is.
because she is literally the Green Witch because she's deaf. I thought that was clever.
It was again. I give them some credit. Like, I haven't been loving it. I know I say this every week, but it's gotten better. I'm more vested. Certainly, there is clever writing. It's not the best thing I've ever seen, but it's
fun.
It's all right. It's gotten to the point where I'm actually interested to see the final 2 episodes. I'll say that.
Okay.
Which are next week, all in one.
It's also interesting. Remember, Agatha did not want to bring Rio on the road. She did not want her to come with the Coven. Is it because of this history the two of them had? Or is it more along the lines of, I didn't want to invite death in this journey down the road?
I wouldn't want to invite death either.
Well, that also explains how Rio knows that Nicholas Scratch is gone.
This is true. She escorted him to the other side.
That's exactly what happened. Is she took the son. She knows. Oh, there were so many interesting tiny details along the way that they really explained during this one, which was kind of cute.
Yeah, it feels like we now are kind of ready. This was, we're ready for the final 2 episodes. We're now in the home stretch. Everything is kind of wrapped up. We kind of understand most everything. The cats understand most everything too.
No, they always know when we're recording, and they have to come.
Oh, they do. It's amazing. They
roll around on the floor.
They can disappear for hours, but as soon as we sit down,
we never hear them walking around with their bells unless we're recording, and then they stop and they shake them around.
Yes.
But I'm excited to see how this ends. I mean, next week, the Halloween week, we have the last 2 episodes, because I don't know why they had to say it as 2 episodes and why they just did go one last episode and make it longer.
Yeah, because
this
episode was getting kind of short.
On that 30-ish minutes thing, and they're like, no, see 2 no, just
a
make
couple
it 1.
were longer, but this one again it didn't feel short because I thought it did. Yes, just go ahead and use the scratching post.
Told you.
He didn't care what I had to say.
No.
But I did feel like this episode worked, the length worked, but it was still a short episode, if that makes sense. I didn't need this to be bloated anymore. I mean, I guess it could have been. You could have
had more. They could have done a little more with the tarot readings. We didn't see the full reading of Billy. It kind of got interrupted with her traveling. I would have been interested to see how the rest of his reading played out.
Yeah.
We know that it was wrong because it was the wrong reading. It wasn't because her reading was wrong. Well, I am, down the witch's road, ready to see how we're gonna finish this story out. Like I said, I've had a fun ride. I feel like the pace has picked up throughout. I've gotten more vested and interesting throughout. I'm still really sad Alice is gone, but do we really know that they're gone? I mean,
no one's ever really gone. Come on,
we thought the other 2 were dead, and they weren't.
No, we didn't think the other 2 were dead.
Well, they went under the ground there. How are we supposed to know they're going to go an underground tunnel system that leads to a subway?
Oh, where else would they go? No, I mean, I didn't think they were dead, but yes, they did appear to be dead. It wasn't impossible that they may have stayed dead, but...
It could be that the road just expels you. Maybe it doesn't kill you.
That doesn't seem like a very witchy thing to do.
Unless it takes them... I don't know.
The witchy thing to do is to kill you if you fail.
What if they get to the end and what Agatha really desired at the end turns out to be a coven, and it gives her coven back?
Well, she had... or her old coven?
No, just this coven. Remember, she was going down the road for power.
That'd be
and we could get this really wholesome ending where it's like, no, what I really desired wasn't power.
It was the friends we made all along the way.
My coven.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go.
That would be lame.
And she ends up being Wiccan's teacher.
I could see that.
That I could see.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So help them find Tommy. They'll learn magic.
Yay. Yeah, I could see that. It sounds like a pretty... But we still have to figure out what's going to happen with Death and...
Yeah, because Death is still lurking.
Yes.
Bum.
I feel like that was like an attempt at a pun or something.
I'm done with you.
And we're done with this. So that is going to be all we got for you this time. That is your turn. Take to the comments below. Tell us what you thought of this 7th episode of Agatha all along. Do you think it's getting better? Have you enjoyed it all along the road or what? Whatever the case may be, leave your comments below. Let's talk some Marvel. And until next time, thanks for watching.